We have, and then we have a very super brief poll that we encourage all of you to do. Shouldn't take much more than, I guess, just 3 questions. If you could be so kind, it should have opened up on your laptop. And I think there's 3 questions, I believe. And we'll just give folks a few seconds to thank you for responding. That's a really wonderful coverage of the county.
Will we be able to see the results, Dana?
I hope
Once
so.
it gets.
This is
just
our
wondering.
first time doing it, so I sure hope so. Can all of you scroll down and see it too on the right-hand side when you put your cursor?
No, we
No,
just
I
see
don't think we
Linda's
see.
presentation.
Oh, okay.
Want me to stop sharing for a minute?
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe that'll help. Now do folks see it?
No, you have to share your
Okay.
screen now, Dana.
Oh, okay. So
How about now? Wait, hold on. 'Cause I see the results.
here it is. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to do the end poll and maybe it'll do the graph things. Thank you for all of you for being here with as we're in this learning curve. But if that doesn't work, just for everyone here, you can see obviously Central is the most, but that's a nice representation of the county, countywide representation. And then the population served, pretty equal with children and youth.
Dana, you must,
Yeah,
do you have
I
2
can't see
screens? Because we see send form. We see the
Let's
link for
see.
the visitors, the membership visitor sign in.
Share results.
There it is.
Oh,
Now you
there we
see
go.
it?
Yes.
Okay.
That looks awesome.
I know, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
That's good. That's
really?
countywide representation.
Hmm.
And then across the lifespan.
And then scroll down on the right side. If you have the scroll bar, you can see
Oh.
question number
Oh,
2.
thank you.
Everyone needs to do that themselves.
Oh, everyone has to do that themselves. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you scroll on the right-hand side, like Amelia articulated, you can see children or youth is almost equal, most adults, but certainly across the lifespan. And then if you go to question number 3, that's a representation of all 4 also. So thank you. I'm going to stop share. Thank you to each of us. Now let me stop share so that Melissa can introduce our guest speaker.
Yes, thank you. So just, before I introduce Linda, I just want to quickly say, when it comes to the learning exchange, a little bit about purpose. So this was created to provide a positive learning and sharing experience for the San Diego Trauma-Informed Guide team members. And through the discussion and sharing, we would be able to strengthen our knowledge and identify applicable approaches to skill building and support of, our mission and vision and goals. And this came from the work within the past 2 years, and we are super proud about that. And, we absolutely adore Linda, and she is the light of every time you walk into the room. I'm just going to go ahead and read a little bit of the intro, which you got that before in the flyer. She has worked in the county of San Diego for over 20 years. She dedicates her life to sharing her story of resilience, trauma-informed care, and the importance of the use of lived experience within the system of care. With her training, she provided the family voice through the number of training for children welfare, services workers, foster parents, behavior health services providers. She worked with San Diego Youth Services, NAMI San Diego, training with the Academy, as well as being a strong alliance in the implementation of pathways to well-being. So without further ado, I give you Linda Ketterer.
Wow, I'm just gonna go home right now because I love you all too. That's the end of the story, right? I can't thank you enough for being here and for all the support. of just all the different faces that I see, everyone I've worked with throughout the years, and how this group right here, this trauma-informed care subject, topic, whatever you want to call it, really does bring us together as a family in hopes of making change within our system of care and within our own lives, right? And so you can see my screen, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Okay, yay. So let's get started. I called this the value of the voice because your voice matters, right? And so it's so important that you remember this, because when we speak to the people that we work with, the people we encounter in everyday life, our voices matter in hopes of changing maybe their day or maybe their perspective, right? And when we share our voices, I think it opens up a lot of doors. So today we're just going to talk about what is lived experience. We're going to talk about the evolution of the use of lived experience, the scope of work that youth family support partner. I'm going to cut throughout the presentation call peer support. We're going to go into how many different names there are in the county for the voice of lived experience. But throughout I usually call them youth family support partners, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. So we're going to talk about the scope of work, the children's system of care, family-friendly communication, and then the value, why it's important. So welcome to my family. Our stories matter. The power of sharing our stories of resilience and helps break down walls, open doors to service, and instill hope. So this is a picture of my mom and my dad and 5 of my brothers and sisters. Myself and my younger brother are not yet born. My life began in 1961. So if you do the math, I'm 60 years old, but I still look good for my age. Anyways, so my father was in the Navy and my mom was a stay-at-home mom, caring for all of us young ones. And let me just say, she was Catholic and we're all 1 year apart. I'll just put that out there, right? So life was not easy for her. So when I worked for NAMI, we did a training called Working Together, and you can still do it within NAMI San Diego. And it was just a training to help providers see the value of the voice of lived experience and how we could work together to increase family engagement. And so we did a lot of research on the voice of lived experience, and we found way back in 1940s, the People's Republic of China, there were barefoot doctors that would go into these isolated or villages and just take the help that they needed to the villages themselves. Then we found out that in 1960s, there was a lot of women down in Latin America. The strong women of the communities would tell the doctors, not only will you go to these isolated villages or communities and give them the help that they need, but you're also going to give them more resources. And so those were the promotoras. The promotora model, of course, my phone's going to start going off. The promotora model eventually came over to the United States and was really strong within the United States. It spread like a wildfire. If you live in California, you know what I'm talking about. So not only the women of the neighborhood, but men, women, everybody was talking about using their lived experience in order to find help for other things. So from the Hispanic promotora all the way to the different genders. And then 48 of our states, the United States, have state certification for the voice of lived experience. So youth family support partners or peer partners or whatever the title is that you hold. And so so for many, many, many years here in California, there was a youth family roundtable. There was all different kinds of people fighting for state certification for the lived experience, the voice of lived experience, and the work that we were doing within the county of San Diego and throughout California. So just recently, there was a California legislation just passed. I forget the name of it because it's changed so many times throughout the years. But now the county of San Diego is looking into how do we create a state certification for the voice of lived experience and the family youth support partner to give them an opportunity to not only do what they love to do, but to be able to grow in their career as well, right? We want to be able to have steps and stages so that the peer support partner can grow and earn a living to support their families while they help other families. So NAMI San Diego, I don't know, I still find it so hard to believe that a lot of people don't know that they hold the contract for the children, youth, and family liaison, the link between the county of the families first and foremost, the county of San Diego, and they hold that contract and they honor the youth and family support partner by hosting a monthly meeting to give them not only trainings, but to also remind them how valuable their work is. And so I love being part of that legacy of making sure that our youth family support partners know how valuable they are. So don't forget to visit NAMI San Diego when you get done with this, so that you can see the different programs that not just NAMI San Diego, you got to go to the NAMI San Diego Children, Youth, and Family Liaison. So they have their own website and more. So just know, I come from a family of 7 siblings, so I talk really fast. If I'm talking too fast, just tell me to slow down or raise a hand and I'll slow down, because when it was my turn to get my word in, I had to do it and I had to do it quickly. So, all right. So in the county of San Diego, when I was working for NAMI San Diego, and I got permission from NAMI to restate all these information. Here's all the different names that I found for the county of San Diego names for youth family support partners. So there was youth partner, family support specialist, peer support specialist, youth support partner, administrative partner. There was parent partner. There was peer specialist. There was case management peer specialist. Older adult peer, there was family youth partner, that's what we called it, peer support advocate, parent partner administrator. There was peer dual recovery specialist. There was TAY, transitional age youth specialist. And I'm going to just keep going on and on and on. Support partner, intern, parent support specialist, admin peer specialist, and just on and on. Family youth support, AOD, alcohol and drug, other drug peer, therapeutic behavioral services, support partner. I think that was the last one. Oh no, promotor, don't forget the promotor, because that's where my heart started, right? So you can see that when NAMI San Diego received that contract and they said, well, are you a family support partner? A lot of times the family support partner would say no. No, I'm a peer support, or no, I'm a case manager, or no. And so we had to like tell them, okay, so if you're using your voice of lived experience in order to help engage families and, you know, give them a definition of what they do within the system of care, you are what we call here at NAMI San Diego, the children, youth, and family, youth family support partner. That's what they decided at NAMI, just keep it simple, youth family support partner, to cover it all, right? And so it's really hard within in my opinion, in the county of San Diego to make sure that the youth family support partners that are using their voice of lived experience, but have a different title, to help them get the support and the recognition and all the different things that we want them to have within the county of San Diego because of all the different names. So we were hoping that we can make a change within the county of San Diego, policies and procedures within contracts, just call them youth family support partners, so that everybody's on the same page and everybody knows, you know, that they're using their voice of lived experience. Kind of simple, but really hard to do. So. Does anybody else have a different name out there? I'm pretty sure you do for
wellness advocate.
Wellness advocate. There we go. Yeah. And we could go on and on. Seriously, I think I had to stop because we ran out of room on the slide. Oh, there was another one. Parent engagement specialist. Oh, community partners. Anyways, there I am. I'm in the middle right there. I was finally born and life was good. You would think, right? We look happy in this picture. Do you agree? We were, because this was right before the tragedy hit. My father died in a horrible car accident at the age, I was 8 years old. And if I'm looking at this picture, I would assume I'm 8 years old here. our family just went into survival mode. My older brothers and siblings had to just fend for themselves because it was like we lost two parents because my mom had to go back to work to make ends meet for the family. Excuse me. All of our lives changed in that moment. In school, labels started to appear: incompliant, troublemaker, unable to sit still, does not follow directions, always out of her seat, angry, bad, bad, bad. I don't know how many times I heard the word bad. My younger brother, his name is Michael, he acted out too, but he was medicated and is medicated to this day. And I often wonder, what if somebody was trauma informed back then and knew that a tragedy had happened in our lives? Would he be different today? Or is it something that I've asked my older siblings, was he born, you know, how was Michael born? He was born normal, but he got stuck in the day that my father died. So youth family support partner types of work. We're good at pretty much anything, I could say, because we've been surviving most of our lives. Administrative, filing, phones, note taking, anything that pretty much we're asked to do. We love it and we take it on with a vengeance to make sure it's done good. Advocacy and community engagement. We love getting others involved and advocating for the families. Training and supervision, like we're like sponges. The more we learn, the more we want to learn. And especially if we're passionate about a topic. I know my topic was the minute I learned about trauma-informed care, I'm going to learn anything and everything I can about the subject. And so once we find our passion, we want to learn more and be able to feed it back into the families that we're working with. So direct services, engaging families and helping them find appropriate resources for their family. We always have to remember what works for one family might not work for the other. So we want to find those appropriate resources that work. Peer-to-peer, sharing with each other, like our struggles of being a peer support partner or a family youth support partner, but also being able to just be able to share our successes too. We don't want to just say, oh, this is so hard, we can't, no, it's a success. There was this one kid, I'll remember him forever, right? And those stories go on and on with us. And then in turn, we could share that with our families. There was this one kid, he reminds me of your son, right? And I can't tell you his name, but this is what happened. And let's just take advantage of the system of care. That's all we want, is for you to take advantage of the system of care. And then supporting positive outcomes. We celebrate anything and everything, right? To make sure that those parents know, you showed up today. It's amazing. What? I just showed up. Why are you so excited? Because you showed up today, right? And so just celebrating those small defeats to encourage the families to continue on the journey. So at the age of 13, after my father died, I started using drugs. My addiction lasted for 21 years of my life, which would have been all good and fine if I hadn't brought 3 beautiful children along with me. I didn't know much in my addiction. I just knew one thing, without a doubt. I knew that I loved my children with all my heart and with all my soul. I just didn't like me very much. And so I was praying for a way out. And I went to jail. And most people say, every time you say you went to jail, you smile. Well, yeah, because why? It was the beginning of the end. I needed a way out. And that was the way that that my life decided to do it. Jail was the best thing that happened to me. Leaving my children, I only had to go in for a month, but leaving my children for that month, and they were in my sister's care, but that was not as good a place as I hoped it would have been. But leaving them for that month, I knew that I never, ever, ever wanted to leave them again. And so any resource, anything that I could get my hands on to try to be better when I got out, I grabbed onto it within that system of care, the jail system. And so I give all credit to the children's system of care, my probation officer, and all the different resources that I was able grab onto. And it was funny because I think about it now, I became a family support partner while I was in jail because I was learning things and I was sharing them with all the other women that were in there, hoping that they might want to change their lives too. I couldn't fix them, right? But at least I was going to share that information so that they might have a chance to. All right, so this was really cool because I was arrested in 1994. And when I was working with NAMI, I figured this all out. The whole children's system of care changed just for me. It was like, oh, they saw me coming, right? They saw me coming. They said, wait, this isn't going to work for her. So let's change everything up. No, I'm just kidding. Well, that's how I saw it anyways, right? But in 1995, the children's system of care started to review how things were being done. And so they got a group of community stakeholders together to see how things could change. So then they created a vision and mission statement that was, I thought I had put it in here, but I could say, oops. Let me go backwards. Oh. But you can go on to the San Diego Children's System of Care and you can look for their vision and mission statement. And then, and it's really, it's geared towards the family. In 2004, the Children's Mental Health Services System of Care Council created with all 4 sectors, and the 4 sectors are families, education, private and public. Yeah, it's private and public. So they want to make sure that all 4 representations of the county are represented in it. In 2010, they incorporated the Live Well San Diego into principles. And then the Children, Youth, and Family Behavioral Health System of Care became more organized, right? Then they had the organizational providers serving children, youth, with complex needs. They made sure that they were paying more attention to the uninsured and underinsured families to make sure that they had options to go to with the clinics and things like that. And the comprehensive continuous integrated system of care came into play for co-occurring disorders. And this just means when I got my help, they didn't only focus on my addiction, right? They focused on why I was addicted. And I don't think that I could have been as successful because I didn't know I was depressed. I didn't know that I was, sad because of the death of my father. I didn't know this, but because they put this into the co-occurring disorder, they knew it, right? And they worked on both the addiction and the depression of what I was going through in my life. And then it seems like such a short time, but 2016 became trauma informed and made sure that people in the county and in the system of care were being trauma informed trained. And then I put this as the last one. When did the use of youth and family support partners come into play? I don't know. I think it's been there all along, but we're really starting to recognize and honor it. So this is so important when we work with families, the communication using family-friendly language. I'll just give you an example. For San Diego Youth Services, they had a new program coming onto the schools called the PEI program, Prevention Early Intervention. And it was a dinosaur school, but they had mental health specialists coming into the school to work with the families. And I was already working at the school, and the principal said, you can come do this program if you hire this lady over here, Linda Ketterer. And so because I had my teaching degree, but just wasn't able to get a teaching position. So they agreed, and then I became a promotor. So the mental health specialist just wanted to go into the school, say, we're going to offer you, which is great, right? But we're going to offer you these services, mental health, right? But the promoters were saying, wait, you can't do that. You have to go in and say, hey, I'm Linda. We already know each other. This is a great program. And they're going to help you figure out why your child's acting out. They're going to figure out different strategies you can use when they're acting out, right? We're not going to talk about mental health at all, right? Until we earn that trust, right? Because if we started talking directly about mental health, our families are going to think, you think I'm crazy, right? This is still the stigma that's out there. Or you think I'm a bad parent. No, that's not the truth. We just have these different strategies. We think that would be useful. And we think that, so we had to sell it to our families, the promoters that were already working on the schools before the mental health specialists could come in and be successful as well. And so that's why it's so important that we use that lens of lived experience within the families, right? And that family-friendly language. So then with the lens of lived experience, we don't automatically assume because I went through something, you're going to get it too. We can't. We just say, this is what happened with my family, and maybe, possibly, this could help your family too. And then culturally competent, this is so important. I feel we can never be competent in anybody else's culture. We just need to be curious, right? We want to be curious so that we can learn from them as well. And then our focus is on the assets of the family, to look for their strengths, not, their weaknesses. We want to focus on those assets. And the free exchange of information, this is so important. If you cannot answer a question for the families, tell them why. Maybe it's a HIPAA thing. Maybe it's this, maybe it's that. Just tell them why. I can't answer that because . You know how much trust that earns when we're so on it, like open honesty, instead of just saying, no, I can't answer that and walk away or whatever. I'm not saying you guys do. I'm just saying, if you can tell them why, they're going to trust you more. And then feedback. Feedback is so important, especially with the families, when we celebrate those, like even the smallest thing, right? That you're doing great and look at how much this is working and that kind of thing. It really does. And you might not see it on the outside, but on the inside, things are changing. Just trust me on that one, right? And then we come in and we help reduce the stigma, because we say, you know what? My probation officer gave me a second chance when I didn't deserve one. What? You want to talk about your probation? Yeah, I love my probation officer, right? Who says that? And unless you really believe in it, right? And when we believe in it, we might get them to say, yeah, take advantage of it. Or Child Welfare Services doesn't want to take your children. What they want to do is keep your family together as long as it's healthy, right? And they say, what? They don't want to take my kid? Oh, well, how do we do that? Well, we make sure your family's healthy. How can we do that? What works for you? What do you think you need? And those kind of, that kind of language. And then the collaborative partnership. That's when we, together with the mental health specialists or whoever else, or Child Welfare Services, whoever else we're working with, we come in as a team, united and with the family. And it's just so powerful. Can't even begin to explain it. So the value of the voice, we help break stigmas. We're still fighting those stigmas today. We encourage families to take advantage of the system of care just by saying these simple things like, I'm going to tell you, it takes less work for them to take your kids away or to keep your family together than it does to take your kids away. So they truly, really want you to keep your family together as long as it's healthy, right? And then knowing that you're not alone. When we talk to a family and they realize that, hey, wait, I'm in my addiction, or I have lost my children to the system of care, or and we say, yeah, me too, right? That's Brene Brown's, the most powerful words when we're struggling, when we're in a struggle, is me too. And then somebody can say, wow, let me just drop this whole persona that I'm okay, and be able to say, yeah, me too. And it hurts, right? And be able to just talk about that. And for the youth family support partner to be able to listen while the family talks about it. So our stories are just so valuable within the system of care and within our communities. And just to make sure that we're changing perspectives of, the different things that were once hurtful in history, because there's a lot of things that were hurtful in history, and Child Welfare Services, probation, the police brutality, all this stuff, that we have to deal with to help break the stigma. But when we are able to say, not everybody, right, within the system of care, or let me help you find what's going to work best for your family, it's really valuable. And then Dana and I are honored to be able to go into Dr. Hukota's class, and to the interns that work with us and do mighty collaborative work with us, into the child and family development classes, just to teach them a little bit about trauma-informed care. So Dana presents and I interweave my story throughout it, and it's just really powerful. And so this semester they wrote us some letters, and I just want to say what one opportunity to share your story can do. So this was one of the things she said. Thank you for being so brave and sharing your life experience with all of us. I must say it was life-changing. The passion and dedication you both express in the work you do is beyond admirable. Something, and I had to underline it, something I will hold dear to my heart is that one is not a bad person. They are just a person with a bad experience. If that changed her perspective, my heart like dropped the mic, I'm done, right? Because it's perfect. I think I forgot to mention to you that it wasn't until I was in my 40s, late 40s, that I had my first trauma-informed training. And it was in a room full of a lot of mental health specialists, a lot of program managers, and a couple of promotores in this room. And so the man who was giving, I can't remember his name, but the man that was giving the training said, I need a volunteer. And my boss is like hitting me with his elbow, go, just go. And I'm looking around the room and everybody's looking down at their phones and nobody's going to volunteer. And I'm the kind of person that's like, yeah, I'm good. I could do this. Yeah, I volunteered. I ain't got no trauma in my life. That's what I'm thinking in my head, right? I'm good. I'm clean and sober. So I walk up there. The man steps forward towards me and says, what happened to you as a child? And I said, nothing, but I took a step back. I'll never forget this. He took a step forward. He said, no, like, look at me in my eyes. What happened to you as a child? And I said, well, my father died, and my voice cracked. And I look at my boss like, get me down from here. Because everybody in the room, all of a sudden their head is up, right? And they're looking at me and my voice is great. And it was like a film reel. My father died, right? And this is like every step, every choice, every path, every avenue that I took stemmed from the death of my father. And all of a sudden, a light went off. I'm not bad. I'm not bad. I'm sad. I was a sad little girl that missed her dad. And every decision I made stemmed from that. And shame on those people that told me that I was bad, because I wasn't. And to this day, I make sure that my family, my children, my grandchildren know that's a bad behavior, but you're not bad, right? And you need to change that behavior, because nobody should live like that. Another part of the letter that came was from another young lady, was that your presentation made me do a lot of self-reflection. I realize now that traumatic events may affect everyone differently. So if I do not think something is that big of a deal to me, it might have a huge impact on somebody else. Ta-da! Drop the mic, right? Because your trauma might not be what I think is as big as mine, right? But it's yours, and you own it, and you've lived with it, and you've dealt with it for however long. So I love that these letters came and gave us that. So how valuable is the voice of lived experience? It's priceless, right? When we can make these changes in somebody's heart and soul, when we can change the lives of a family that just thinks they're bad, when we can change the life of somebody who thinks there's no hope for the future, it's priceless. Now, let me tell you guys something. It's not always easy sharing your story. It's not. Sometimes you just want to crawl under a pillow and just like, not today, in a fetal position, not today. But when we do, we have to remember why. Why do we do? And there's a lot of self-care. We always advocate for our interns. Make sure you're doing your self-care. We advocated for each other. Don't forget to do some self-care. So I just put this little poster up here. Just a little bit of ideas. Stop your negative thoughts. That's hard sometimes, right? But have a good laugh. If you need a good laugh, you can call me. I'll figure out a way to do it. Come see me at the Santa set. That's a good laugh right there. But it's not always easy to share, just to remember your why. And You can't pour from an empty cup. So take care of yourself first, right? And this is my why. I cannot live without these guys. They broke the chain of addiction. My mama, who's right up here, she's so proud of me and everything that I've accomplished in life. But working with my grandkids at the Santa Set and just being present, being able to be present, that's my why. And that's why I continue to share my story and fight in the county of San Diego to change these policies and procedures to be able to recognize the voice of lived experience and the value that it holds within the system of care. And if I could show, can I show a video real quick? Because I just want you to know that you and your stories are just as important. And your voice matters. Can I share the video real quick? Do I have time? All right.
Melissa, what are your thoughts?
I don't even know if it's going to play.
We should just make the time.
Why are you so scared to go viral? Wix users
Hold
aren't.
on.
You're on steady.
Wait, we can't see it though, Linda. You might have to reshare your screen.
Yeah, hold on. I don't know what's happening.
Linda? Hey, Linda.
Rocking it. Hold on.
Okay, Linda, can you stop share from your slide deck and then open up share again, and it should go to the YouTube.
Okay.
That should work.
All right.
And then just remember to click sound in the lower right-hand corner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on.
I need to know, who am I?
It's not shared yet though, right, Linda?
Oh, you can't see it?
Mm-mm. I don't think you've shared your screen. Reshare.
Okay. Let me do this. What's that share? Oh. Can you see the little video thing now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I don't know why I love this video so much, but
I need to know, who am I? Where do I belong?
Look, the point is, stop trying so hard to be something you're not.
Like so many things, it is not what is outside, but what is inside that counts.
You must be imaginative, strong-hearted. You must try things that may not work. And you must not let anyone define your limits because of where you come from.
You gotta let go of that stuff from the past, because it just doesn't matter.
If you focus on what you've left behind, you will never be able to see what lies ahead. Look inside your heart.
The only thing that matters is what you choose to be now.
You don't decide who you are, you do.
Your only limit is your soul.
You are what you choose to be.
There's no one I'd rather be than me.
You've got greatness in you.
Don't let fear stop you from doing the thing you love. Never, never give up.
There is no secret ingredient. It's just you.
there is no secret ingredient. It's just you. It's just you. Your voice matters, your stories, your hope for the future. It all matters. So thank you for listening to my presentation today. I truly appreciate all of you being here, and that's that.
Thank you so much, Linda. And we're in the chat box, so powerful, your profound wisdom, and you're getting a lot of love in the chat box, Linda. So in the chat box is a Google form that has the questions for the breakout, and it's 1:17. Melissa, I had set them up for 20 minutes. Do you think I should keep them? Should I move it to 15? So we have time for whole group, or do you think we should do 20?
I think 20 is fine with
Okay.
the large number too. So we want to be able to at least have everybody opportunity to share a little bit.
Okay, so everyone, we're going to go into breakout rooms, and there'll be, when the 20 minutes are up, there'll be I think you're probably all familiar with breakout rooms on Zoom, then there'll be a 30 seconds closing before we come back for the whole group. And I'm going to join room number 6, and I hope I maneuvered it around with the leadership team that we've got. A leadership team in all of them in the membership committee. So,
And Dana, if you could share that wheat and flour picture.
oh, yes. Yes, let me do that real quick. This is, thank you for that. Let me share screen. So can everyone see this weed and then in the break? And I don't want to not do this because I'll lose it and have to start over.
So I see it, Dana. It's good.
Okay,
and then
good.
If everybody could just go ahead and go on to the link that Dana shared. It should say Learning Exchange breakout questions. And
Right.
the facilitator will be able to walk you through once you get into the small breakout rooms.
Beautiful, beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and open up all the rooms, and we'll see you all back in a little over 20 minutes. Hi, I'm going to take us off recording for the break.
So I probably didn't, those are the things that stuck with me. Maybe not everybody else in my group. So chime in, groupies.
I had a really big aha in our room, and that was the concept that one weed that we might have would be trying to go in really deep with the child's story of trauma, and maybe ignoring or not knowing mentally that the parent might also have unresolved trauma that's actually never been looked at. So we can't just go with the latest generation and ask the parent who has unresolved trauma that no one's ever talked about to just like go in real deep on their child's story.
Anyone else like to share?
I would just like to encourage Michaela, just to talk about the Youth Family Support Partner Coaching Meeting and how it's available to all the family support partners out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to. So it's a monthly meeting that we hold. I believe it's the third Thursday or Friday of every month. I can double check and send that to Dana to distribute. But it's a meeting that we put on, and it's usually split into two time groups. The first half being a coaching meeting dedicated to different skills to add to your tool set as a support partner. And then the second half is kind of like a support for peer support workers. I know how hard this work can be for us in order to making sure that we're giving enough time to our own self-care, to making sure that we there's frustrations that we have. And so getting into a group monthly where we can share what's going on in our lives is really nice. And it happens monthly. So feel free to join. I would love to see you guys there.
Yeah, that'd be great, Michaela. And it's a recurring meeting, right? It's the same day time kind of thing?
Yep. Uh-huh.
Okay, so we could put that as a recurring calendar on PACES Connection too, on San Diego County Community, as one pathway of letting folks know.
I would love to send you the information.
Beautiful. And Pam, I didn't hit the recording soon enough. Can you just reiterate the beautiful eloquence you shared about how everyone loves Linda? Just no, I know.
What I said was we spent the first part of our group just talking about Linda's heart and the way she inspires and her now I'm probably not saying it quite right, but just the genuineness and that it just comes off of you. It's visible, Linda. And so you're inspirational and motivational. That's what we talked about.
Celeste and I have a dream.
Yes, we do.
So Celeste and I sit on different subcommittees so that we can have the voice of the family. We would say our voice, but it's not our voice. It's the voice of the family to be heard. And so we sit on these different subcommittees with RISE and the Academy for Professional Excellence on what training should be brought into the system of care for the different child welfare services, for any training that the RISE is going to do for the county. We want to have an input that this should be and why it should be for the families or for the people that work with the families. And then we also encourage them to say, why not have a family support partner training with them so that you get the best of both worlds, right? And in addition to that, we also sit on the subcommittee to say which conference topic should be brought annually
to the system of care. Exactly.
Yeah. And so we kind of like threw it in there, like
keep it going.
Why not have a youth family support partner celebration conference or at least the Voice of Lived Experience conference, so that we can celebrate the work that many. And Kathleen asked how many youth family support partners are in the county. I have no idea. I wish I knew. There's at least several in many different programs. So but hopefully we did get the thumbs up that the conference will be a youth family support partner conference this year, and really truly hoping Celeste is
gotta learn
that Celeste is a keynote speaker.
Yeah, right. Don't put me up there yet.
It's gonna be, and it's gonna be in May. So we can share out in this meeting about it when we get more.
It's exciting. And Linda, how much I love you and the value. There's nothing, and I'm just saying it because it's true. There is nothing like lived experience and being able to connect with families and youth and kids, and realizing our own trauma when we had no idea that we had ever been traumatized. And that alone keeps you moving and always looking within yourself and how you can do better, not fix anybody, because we're not repair people, but just to be able to connect and understand and have that stepping into another person's shoes, being able to really feel what they're feeling from our own personal journeys, which have been ups and downs. And because we're working in it, and it does not mean that we do not still have our challenges with our families, with our loved ones, including our families, because the families that we work with, a lot of them become like our family. So it's an ongoing journey, and this has been, thank you, my sister from the same district. Okay.
I learned from
everything. Thank you. We learn from each other, all of us, all of you here. I've learned something from you. Dana, Pam, we go a long way back. Amelia, and Linda, the other Linda, and some others that perhaps I've not called your name because I don't see it here. But this has been a journey, and I happened to start this journey and actually in 1984 working for San Diego Unified School District as a family, what would we call it? Family specialist or something of that nature. So It's been a journey, and it's an honor, really, to be able to, for us to use our lived experience to help others. And
Yep.
I didn't mean to say all that. How did I get?
Oh, it's so
open my mouth?
eloquent. It was so eloquent, Celeste. And Pam, for all of you in the chat box, Pam put in the Google form for the evaluation survey for today. If you'd be so kind to open it up and complete that. The guide team, leadership team very much appreciates your time doing that. And really, Linda, the love, you really got to scroll down the chat box. There's so much love for you in there, and you just powerfully and inspirationally lifted up the value of lived experiences, because it's humanizing our spaces in the healing and helping profession. It's building trust with the families across the lifespan who we serve. It's equity focused when we've got the families that are guiding the pathway ahead. And for everyone that is here, you know, that was able to stay through the whole San Diego Trauma Informed Guide Team Learning Exchange today. We just really value, respect, and appreciate every single one of you profoundly. And Kathleen, we're thrilled you're now a lifetime member. So yay with the happy dance on that.
It's like the video said, the video said there is no secret ingredient. It's just you.
Okay.
Can you share that link to the video, what everybody said? And, you know, the reason, as Melissa said, the reason why we have these learning exchanges is because each of you brings something so valuable to these conversations. So, you know, I wish I could like join every single breakout, but, you know, can't do that. But, you know, I love my breakout group, but I would have loved to been in each of the other ones too. So maybe so come back so that we can do this next time and I can be in your groups next time.
Can we copy this, or how do I open this up, the form, without it disturbing?
You should be able to click on it. It should open up in a different window.
Yeah,
Somebody can check it, because I am not the best at posting.
It opened.
Okay.
It opened. It's probably just somewhere else behind your window, Celeste. So it probably opened somewhere else.
Yeah, so Celeste, if you click on it and then you go down to below the navigator bar at the very bottom of your laptop, I'm in Google Chrome, but if I go to the little Internet Explorer and I click there, it's open there.
Okay.
It's in another browser.
Oh, Melissa, why don't you say your announcement? That would be great.
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of mention if anybody would like to join a training subcommittee, and you know, this is one of the big things that we do. And as far as the learning exchange, please, you know, shoot me an email. Would love to talk to you and share with you more about what we do. And you know, it's a fun group, a very dedicated group, and we get the excitement of being able to really take in the suggestion and requests and from the guide team members, and then we work toward finding the subject matter, the topics for the presentation, and how that tie in with the mission and the vision that we have for the guide team, while really taking consideration of what's going on in the community. As we all know, we sort of been riding a roller coaster with the different changes going on when it comes to what we're experiencing as a community, and how that impact all of us. So it's exciting. It's really rewarding, and we meet every 2 months to kind of work together when it comes to these learning exchange experiences. And you could get involved as much as you can, as you want. And I'd love to get more folks to join the subcommittee.
And then is the next one Tuesday, December 21st at 10 a.m. I want to say.
Yes, so it's the third Tuesday of the month, and the next one is December this month. Yes.
And if you have recommendations for speakers, definitely share it with our team, either to the training committee or even to the co-chairs at Resilient. wow, like, how come I not, do I not know that?
SB@gmail.com.
SG@gmail.com. So, if you have heard of an amazing speaker that they have to be free, that's willing to, we don't have a budget, that would be willing to come to our group and share their knowledge and their expertise, definitely pass that along to us.
Or if you have a certain topic in mind that you really wish for us to take, consider it for the next topic of the learning exchange, please let us know.
Pam, do you want to share about Birth of a Brilliance?
Yeah, well, I put two things in there. One is I was looking back and somebody wanted to sign in. It might be too late, but I stuck the, I think I stuck the sign in link in there. Well, I said signing link, but I meant sign in. And then, yeah, the Birth of Brilliance conference is now, this is its second year, and it really focuses on resiliency and youth of color, and how to undo the junk that society dumps on them. I'm not on that committee, so I'm not a very good person at speaking about it, but it was an amazing conference last year, and it'll be really amazing this year. And it's reasonably priced. The registration just opened. I put a link to the website in there. So if you're at all interested, I encourage you to click and check it out.
So in closing and honoring every single person here and your time invested with being here today, much love and light surrounding every single one of you, and pray you have a very healthy and safe and deeply meaningful holiday season with your loved ones. Anyone else? Linda, Amelia, Pam, Melissa, anyone else want to share your heart?
I don't know why, but I keep thinking, like, don't feel bad about the story that I had to live, because it made me into the woman I am today. And so when we meet other people, please don't feel sorry about the stories that they had to live, because it's going to make them into the people that they are going to be, right? So I love each and every one of you. And Tony, I sent you an email just to, will you send me your information? I have some questions. So
yes, definitely. Thank you, Linda.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Happy holidays.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Be blessed, everyone. Have a
Your
very
voice
safe
matters.
and blessed.
Thank you.
There you go.
Love and light.
Mission Valley, if you want to see me at Santa Claus.